I was, studying just a few days ago, traditional school of thought as that of Henry Kissinger that said hard power was everything and military power is driver of the national security. But then we have Barry Buzan who introduced Widener's school of thought, or Challenger's school of thought, because it challenges historical, traditional notions of national security and widens its horizons to human security, to cultural security, to economic security. And then we have Caroline Thomas, who sees post-colonial states, the national security of the post-colonial states beyond all framework. So national security of not only Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, but many other countries in the present times is evolutionary in nature and also challenging at the same time because of many reasons, but primarily one, global order is in a flux that triggers instability. Two, medium or middle ground positioners would face pressures and challenges to choose sides amid GGG, the global great game, and Pakistan's geography in view of the global great game is a battleground of competing interests. Strong economy and balanced foreign policy are important leverages to retain middle ground status. I'd urge you to take a holistic view of our national security as our environment in particular is peculiar. Conduct of war itself is undergoing rapid transformation. Wars in Ukraine, in Middle East, use of proxies and modern technology that have led to non-contact warfare offer both challenges and opportunities for operational art. That is your forte. While military takes care of external front predominantly, a stable, unified and progressive inner front is imperative, ladies and gentlemen. And when you sever linkages between external and internal threats, when you sever the linkages, what happens is unfortunate, but what happens is then East Pakistan, Ukraine, Bangladesh, Nepal, these are all internal weak front is a breeding ground for all ills. If the country is weak from the inside, ladies and gentlemen, even if there's no external threat, even if there's no external aggression, it poses a serious threat to the national security. The countries that are nuclear powers, just as we saw Soviet Union, had multiple nuclear weapons, yet disintegrated. It is because the countries break from the inside and not from the outside. And like what happened in 1971, so conflict within is dangerous, and especially Pakistanis have to understand that. It goes for every country. Good governance, proactive governance, hard work, good policy making. It enables conflict-free within, because a stable country, an economically sound country, a developed country is seen with reverence, is seen with respect. And this is where the role of the governments come in. This is where the role of a chief executive comes in. This is where the role of the Chief Minister of Punjab comes in, or any Chief Minister for that matter. My role as the Chief Minister, Chief Executive of the most populous province of Pakistan. My vision is, and I'm not just reading out things, my vision is to use good governance as a vehicle, as a tool for delivering not only projects, but dreams. And the core value of my vision is people-centrism, putting this people in the center. Rights of people, well-being of people, needs of people, requirements of people, sentiments of people become my priority. I frequently get asked what my priorities are. And I don't have a priority list, because every single thing, every single segment, every single sector, every single project that touches the lives of hundreds and millions of people, that impacts the life of hundreds of millions of people, becomes my priority. And the core value, ladies and gentlemen, of my government is sitting on the left. Ask them. The core value, the core principle of my governance, the core vision of my governance would be one word. If I had to describe my governance, my vision, my approach in one word, it would be compassion. I cannot see things in black and white, because I am the chief executive of a province that is home to 150 million people, 60% of the entire Pakistan's population. And therefore, there are many people who live on the periphery of life. They're away from the luxuries of life, trying, burning their midnight oil, their sweat and toil to make ends meet. So my decision has to be very well thought out. It has to be compassionate. I have to be compassionate. And this gentleman who's the Chief Secretary of Punjab, sometimes, he jokingly says that I fear that you're going to put 10 billion rupee notes on an airplane and drop them from the air. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, compassion, the well-being of people, the good of people is my guiding light. And I run a system, trying to develop a system where decisions, actions are designed for and with the people, because they affect the people adversely or positively. Compassion is at heart of my decision making. One decision coming out of that meeting would affect the lives of 150 million people, to be precise. And not only the indigenous population of Punjab, but I have people coming from all parts of Pakistan, from Azad Jammu Kashmir, from Gilgit-Baltistan, from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, from Balochistan, and even from Sindh, looking for better prospects of life. So therefore, as I said, I can't be non-serious, I can't be nonchalant, I can't be rigid. It's people first, it's humans first. And in this flood, I'm very proud of my team and my entire administration across Punjab. We were hit by the worst floods ever in the history of Pakistan, with our 3 main rivers overflowing, completely drowning, inundating, and submerging the surrounding areas. 5 million people were affected, 5 million people. And this is what I mean when I say compassion. It was a beautiful sight. It was a heartwarming sight, ladies and gentlemen, when I saw my administration, my police, my commissioners, my deputy commissioners, the members of my cabinet, the civil defense, Pakistan Armed Forces, Pakistan Navy in particular, Pakistan Armed Forces in general, lifting people from flood-hit areas to safety. It was a historic flood in every way. Never in Punjab people have seen this amount of water. Literally, I don't know where the water came from, but the level of the preparedness was such that we were able to rescue and evacuate 20 million people. Not only people, not only human lives, but animals as well, lives of the animals, of living beings. This is the Punjab I want to see. those heartening images of rescue people, Rescue 1122, my heroes, carrying even the pet animals in their arms and, shifting them to, transporting them to safety. Small children, babies, infants, pregnant mothers, all being transported in a safe environment to safety. And then feeding the entire population that was flood affected 3 times a day with respect, with dignity, laying down the dastarkhan for them, having them sit at the tables to have their meals, providing them with all the medicines and the medical attention that they needed. The field hospitals that we have about 32 field hospitals in Punjab. We have about 1,000 clinics on wheels, mobile hospitals in Punjab, that I just 2 months ago, I inaugurated. Those field hospitals, it was a treat to watch. I never sat down in my office and, passed instructions. I was there. I visited each and every flood hit area. I had to travel several hours a day because the weather was not conducive. So my plane wouldn't take off, my helicopter wouldn't take off. So I was traveling extensively from one part of the Punjab to the other, from South Punjab to North Punjab, from North Punjab to Central Punjab. I was there everywhere because I can't just sit in the office and pass instructions. I have to be there with my people, telling them that they're safe. Their chief executive is not just sitting in the office, but with them through thick and thin, through good and bad, through the ebb and flow. So my governance, ladies and gentlemen, is equity-based. It is pro-people. It is people-centric, with compassion, meritocracy, with inclusivity and innovation being my guiding principles. And when I say innovation, I come from a family that has had 2 giant political figures, my father Nawaz Sharif and my uncle Shahbaz Sharif, the now Prime Minister. And my father's been 2 times Chief Minister and 3 times Prime Minister. And my uncle who's been 3 times Chief Minister and now the 2nd time Prime Minister. But I refuse to subscribe to the traditional norms. I'm not a slave to past, I'm not a slave to habit, I'm not a slave to convention. I carve my own niche, I carve my own ways. I look at people, I see what they need, and then I come back to office and design my strategy, design my program, which is aimed at keeping the human factor, the compassion in the middle. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to now give you an overview of what I'm doing. Health and education get the largest chunk of my budget. However, we are now embarking on an expansive, sprawling, huge reformation program that is Punjab-wide, all big and small cities simultaneously, clean drinking water, especially in the first phase to the areas that are water scarce. And there is no single solution to this, so we have the experts sitting with us. But my dream is to provide clean drinking water to everyone in all parts of Punjab. And again, a very, very extensive program, Punjab Development Program, that includes laying down a completely new, modern sewage and drainage infrastructure. We've had torrential rains, we've had frequent spells of rains, and every time there's rain, there's urban flooding, there's urban ponding, and the lives in many areas, in many districts, comes to a grinding halt. Gujarat, for example, many areas of Lahore, for example. Only in Lahore, in the Lahore Development Program, I have just built multiple storage, underground storage tanks, because water is a blessing. We have to treat every drop of water falling from the sky as sacred, because it is bread and butter of the people. So it's a completely new, modern sewage drainage system that we are now going to lay down. Involves hundreds of billions of rupees. Model villages, I've got 24,000 villages in Punjab. So we are now embarking on a program that will completely modernize the rural areas of Punjab. So we are starting with 500 villages. And we're also, in every village, we are building connectivity, road connectivity, 25 kilometers of roads in every village, which will help the villagers with the connectivity. And my senior minister and my environment minister is sitting next to me on my left. I very proudly tell you that the things that are happening in Punjab are nowhere else to be seen. I hope other provinces also follow suit. I'm a Pakistani first and a Punjabi after. But the things that are happening in Punjab, every under construction building in Punjab has a banner hanging on its facade saying it's EPA approved. It's EPA complied. And you would see smog guns. We've just imported 15 smog guns that are countering smog at the moment, because I want a healthy environment for my kids, for my people, because every year we are confronted with this huge issue called smog. People falling sick, schools shutting down, the business coming to a grinding halt. So the things that are happening in Punjab are amazing, and I would request you to please focus your energies, focus your minds on this video that will explain to you the kind of work that Punjab is doing. Can we please play the video? Thank you.